Excluding Japan, the Tainan City Mini Walk was the first of its kind to be held anywhere in Asia. It took place alongside the Taiwan Design Expo 2024, an annual event celebrating Taiwan's design industry. The expo emphasized themes such as food, fashion, and Tainan's history and culture. With millions of visitors each year, it was a great choice to give Pikmin Bloom some exposure while giving players a chance to see one of Taiwan's most iconic cultural events. Let's move over to Johnny and Gianni, who appear to be live broadcasting from the event zone. Take it away, Gianni.
Hello, today is Sunday, November 10th, and we are not live whatsoever from Tainan, Taiwan. It's what we would have said if we were there, but once again, sadly, we aren't.
Aw man, this is like deja vu all over again. Now, considering Taiwan is right next to Japan, we can't blame our lack of physical attendance on the weekend this time. But with the big Pikmin Bloom Journey event coming up in Tokyo Dome City, we decided to hold on to our time off to go to that one instead.
That's right. If it feels like deja vu, it's because this event ran at the same time as another mini walk in Italy. And if you'd like to learn more about that, please check out our video on the above card.
Yeah, this time around, 3 separate people helped by getting footage of the event, and they sent that to us. So a very, very special thanks to the names that you're now seeing appearing on screen. Without their support, this video would not have been possible. And of course, thank you to everyone who answered our many questions about the event. Well, you know the drill by now. We won't be needing these two.
Well, for a time like this, all we need is Glowy Boy to lead the way in spirit.
That's right. Let's go see what the Tainan Mini Walk has in store for us as we go on a virtual tour of the event.
Yes, I'm so excited to virtually taste the local food of Tainan. Let's go!
Virtual delicacies. With 8 total special spots to visit, this mini walk had one less than its sister walk over at Lucca. And yet players had over triple the amount of time to collect them all, with the event spanning October 26th to November 10th. That's 16 total days of Pikmin Bloom fun. At Lucca, the event lasted 5 days, and all special spots could be swiped once per day, meaning players could get their hands on multiples of all seedlings, including not only the red present sticker Pikmin, but also the Japan-exclusive Fortune Decor Pikmin. Although you would need to buy multiple event tickets to enter the walled city, which at around 30 euros per day would get a little costly, but I do wonder if any of the staff members or hardcore players out there were able to get them multiple times. The downside at Tainan was that although the event lasted much longer, special spots could only distribute a single seedling, regardless of whether or not players returned on additional days, making for 8 decor Pikmin to collect in total. That said, players could really take their time making it to each spot and were able to take in everything at the Design Expo at their own leisure across multiple days. At the Japan Tag Mini Walk in Germany last summer, the images shown on the map would be exactly what you would receive in terms of both the decor and Pikmin color. Then at Lucca, they decided to mix things up by only having some of the colors be exactly as shown. Finally, for Tainan, we went back to the world of no surprises. In other words, the image of each Pikmin on the map would be exactly what players received, with most of the decor types fitting the theme of their real-world locations. And since there were 8 total special spots, that means all 7 Pikmin types were represented at least once, right? Right? Mr. Red Pikmin? Wait a sec, what did you do to Mr. White? As always, the maps for these live events use the local language depending on where the walk takes place. I don't know if you've noticed, but traditional Chinese is not an easy language to read, so here's my best attempt at making an English version of the map that you'll be seeing throughout the video. There may be some inaccuracies, but I think it'll get the job done. The event wasn't without trouble either. See that little note at the bottom there? Yeah, we'll come back to that one later.
Let's follow Glow Pikmin and start things off at Special Spot H, Tainan Railway Station, since this was the only spot that was placed rather far away from the others. In fact, one of our contacts even decided to skip this one. The decor that players got here was a huge surprise, and no, that's not sarcasm. So far, whenever a train station has been available at a live event, whether it's at a Pikmin Bloom tour, mini walk, even the upcoming journey, it's always been guaranteed to be the ticket version of the decor. But this winged Pikmin comes adorned with the paper train decor, so those specific memories will have to be engraved in the players' hearts instead.
What's more is that while Japan has its fair share of Pikmin advertisements in the bigger cities, I've never seen so many of them lined up like this before. It looks like they had one for the event in general and then showcased 5 of the special spot areas, a preview of what's to come, before concluding with a big blown up version of the map in the Pikmin on smartphone ad that we've seen several times in Japan by now. It was about an 18-minute walk to Special Spot A, the National Museum of Taiwan Literature. Swiping the special spot there would distribute a rock Pikmin with a tiny book keychain decor. I'd say that's a pretty reasonable decor to be paired with a museum of literature. Both the museum's permanent and rotating exhibits explore Taiwanese literature across different eras, languages, and cultural influences, and often include multimedia presentations and interactive installations. I think it's definitely worth checking out if you're in the area, when it's actually open, of course.
A 7-minute walk to the south brought players to the Japanese Patriotic Women's Association. Swiping special spot F, players could receive a blue picture frame decor Pikmin. A lot of live events seem to give away these art gallery seedlings, which, being one of the harder sets to complete for most people, is quite the good thing. Originally, this building served as a branch of the Japanese Patriotic Women's Association, an organization established in pre-World War II Japan to promote patriotic values and support for Japan's military and national interests. In 2012, it was repurposed where it now frequently hosts art exhibitions and serves as a space for cultural and creative activities, hence the Art Gallery Pikmin received here.
Walking 13 minutes all the way to Special Spot D, players would arrive at the Blueprint Cultural and Creative Park, which is probably my favorite location at this particular event. I mean, come on. Can't you see the irony of someone looking at a blueprint and then literally building it? It's like the epitome of malicious compliance. Here, players could get their hands on a yellow Pikmin guaranteed to come with a 4-leaf clover decor. It's always nice when Niantic includes these, considering it's approximately a 1 in 10 chance to get one from a park seedling instead of the regular 3-leaf variety. While technically this spot was not the main area of the venue, it served as a secondary distribution location where players could line up to receive a red, yellow, or blue Pikmin sun visor and a copy of the event map. In all other live events, players had the choice of the color of visor, but here the players didn't. Well, technically they actually did, but it worked a bit differently. Instead of choosing a color that they wanted, the color of visors were distributed based on the time. For example, from 10:30 to 11:30, you could wait in line and get a red visor, and so on. It was strictly one per person each time you waited in line, but you could come back and wait again to get another color if you really wanted to. Additionally, players were given an event sticker, which looks extremely similar to the ones given out in Japan, but this time it came with the collaboration logo at the top, which you can see on the blog and elsewhere at the event. The giveaway of these physical goodies only happened on the weekends when staff members were available to hand them out. That said, there was another distribution location, so players could get another one without needing to wait around the same area.
A 10-minute walk back up to Special Spot E brought players to Tainan Art Museum Building too. If it wasn't already evident by the name, swiping the spot here would net players the second picture frame decor of the day, this time a red Pikmin instead of a blue one. What surprised me is finding out that this art museum is pretty much brand new, having opened to the public in 2019. 5 stories tall, it features diverse galleries showcasing art and artifacts both from Taiwanese and international artists, covering 400 years of history. With an entrance fee of about $5, it's a must-see for any art lovers visiting the city. After a 9-minute walk to the north, players were able to see my personal favorite location of the event, Special Spot G, called Snail Alley. This cozy corner of Tainan just feels like snaily goodness everywhere. This charming cultural spot is inspired by the works of Ye Shitao, a renowned Taiwanese writer. Cute snails over here, cute snails over there. Plus players could receive a snail decor Pikmin. Oh, I got carried away and forgot there's no such thing. Here, players would get a red sweet shop decor Pikmin, specifically from the macaron set. There are several small eateries and dessert shops where visitors can enjoy sweet treats, which explains the seedling. Maybe next time, Snaily.
After an 8-minute walk from Snail Alley, players would arrive at the 7th location of the day, Special Spot C, West Market. This spot is the second distribution location I was talking about earlier. It had all the same features as the Blueprint Cultural and Creative Park, including the time-limited visor and map distribution, and a gigantic copy of the event map on display. Funny enough, there was a kind of photo spot put on by the staff where participants could hold a big chunk of the map of each special spot. This made for an excellent photo opportunity for those who are traveling in larger groups. Given that this is the main venue of the whole event, I think those who have watched our previous videos know where this is going. That's right, swiping the special spot here would give players the elusive gold present sticker decor Pikmin and, as usual, a red one. Taiwan is no stranger when it comes to Pikmin Bloom events. One of the first in-person events ever was the Taipei Community Day back in March of 2022. Although gold present sticker decor didn't exist back then, it did exist during the Taipei Game Show, which ran for 4 days during January of this year, where red, yellow, and blue Pikmin were available. Plus, overlapping with this mini-walk was the Nintendo pop-up store in Taipei, where the same 3 Pikmin were distributed from November 1st to the 10th. Considering the mini-walk is only the 3rd time the country has ever seen a gold present sticker, it's still quite a rare one, and a great opportunity for players to collect. With Tainan Design Expo 24 written on the label for players to remember the event, it made for a fitting distribution for the main venue.
The West Market was filled with food shops and restaurants. Many people mentioned Tainan's local cuisine when we asked them about the event. One person even mentioned that they kept going back to the mini-walk across multiple days, despite already collecting all the seedlings. When asked what drew them to return, they said it was mainly to keep trying more and more of Tainan's food before it was time to return home. Although it was also to see more of the exhibits at the Design Expo. Here are a few of the recommended dishes they mentioned. Finally, heading 7 minutes north to Special Spot B is the UI Shopping District. Swiping the special spot here would give players a purple curry bowl decor Pikmin. A nice way to end the walk by receiving a newer and harder to get decor that many players might not yet have. Funnily enough, several people reported that when plugging in the name of this spot into Google, it brought them to the wrong location, bringing them about 600 meters off course. Although this was an unfortunate accident, it made some people walk extra distance. And isn't that what the game is all about?
That is what the game is all about. Besides, a little extra walking was the least of participants' concerns. Remember that trouble I mentioned at the very beginning? Let's talk about it. Normally, the mini-walk decorations, such as the giant map, were scheduled to be kept up during the entire duration of the event, but they were taken down early. Can you guess why? I'll tell you, in 3, 2, 1, Typhoon! Unfortunately, the powerful Typhoon Kongray ripped through Taiwan right in the middle of the event. It was so severe that the government announced a national emergency that canceled all school and work over the Halloween weekend. The decorations were removed only as a precaution, and everything was returned and back up and running normally after the weekend. Interestingly enough, despite there being no trace of the event physically, and everything shut down in preparation for the storm, allegedly, the special spots remained active in the game even as the Typhoon passed over. Now, I don't think anyone was daring enough to go out and brave the storm to swipe special spots, but I really think Niantic should have deactivated them for the weekend to discourage any kind of reckless behavior from taking place. The only other trouble I saw mentioned was the size of the crowds, but with millions of people flooding the city for both the mini walk and the Design Expo, there's not a whole lot that can be done there. At least there were no noticeable network issues that seem to keep plaguing the European events. Overall, the experience for participants was overwhelmingly positive, with some even suggesting that they would like even more spots to explore. I mean, the event zone seemed to be bigger than normal for a mini walk, so why not add a few more stops along the way? Well, I suppose then it wouldn't be a mini walk, but I'm all on board to petition for medium walks to start being a thing. What I do know for sure is that I would love to visit Tainan someday myself. What do you say, Gianni? Wanna go?
I'd love to go too, but first, let's wrap this video up.
I think that just about covers everything.
Yeah, I'm glad that despite the typhoon, things managed to get back on track within a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, it's lucky that they didn't have to cancel the whole thing.
Yeah, and you know what else is lucky?
What?
Niantic has managed to secure us, yet again, copies of the map, and we'll be picking those up in person when we attend the Pikmin Bloom journey in Tokyo.
Yes, the collection grows.
Aside from that, the next stop on this mini walk train is the US, where we're going to be checking out the San Diego Zoo's mini walk. All aboard!
Until then, see you next time.
Choo-choo!
Choo choo!